Can everybody please give a massive welcome to the one and only Dani Harmer, aka Tracy Beaker? Woo!
Hey!
I want to clap from everybody in the background here.
I am applause. Thank you so much.
Dani,
little bow. Thank you.
Let's have it. Take it all, Dani. Let me tell you, I am so excited for today. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm really good, actually. Kind of despite the circumstances, it being a really weird year, I'm actually really good. And I'm really, really good because the schools have opened again. So, hallelujah, no more teaching for me because I was rubbish at it.
So have you got quite a quiet house today compared to usual?
Oh gosh, I wish. So I live with my partner and my sister as well. So she moved in during the first lockdown.
Oh, wow.
So they both work from home. So it's not really as quiet as I'd like it to be. But hopefully when the offices all open again, I can kick them both out and just have the house to myself. That'd be great.
Oh, well, that would be the dream. But no, I can completely appreciate so many of us are going through this scenario right now where we've got like different office setups in so many different rooms.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. Let me just say, Dani, I need to tell you, I've been dying to tell you, I am genuinely fangirling right now.
Stop it.
I grew up with Tracy Beaker. We're a similar age. I grew up watching Tracy Beaker. And if somebody would have told me all those years ago when I was maybe like 10 years old that I'd be sat speaking to the Tracy Beaker one day, I'd have told them to bug off. Let's just say that. I'd have said it'd never happen. And I said to the guys, you know, when obviously your show came out, the new show came out, I was like, we've got to get Dani on the podcast. And when obviously we made it happen, I was like, no.
And now here I am, and here we are, we're talking to each other. It's just a shame we can't be in the same room.
I know, I wish I could give you a big hug, but one day we'll do something again and we'll meet up. But it's definitely crazy. But yeah, so it's so great to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us. Now,
welcome.
Let's start with the world of Tracy Beaker because it is a whole world. And you started playing Tracy at the age of like 12, 13, is that right?
Yeah, I was 12 when I first got the part, which is crazy. So it'll be 20 years this summer that we first started shooting, which makes me want to vomit a little bit in my mouth because I'm pretty sure I am not old enough for that to be a thing, like surely. But I am old enough. So yeah, 20 years. And I honestly, that time has just flown by. It really has. But I can still kind of remember it like it was yesterday. It's weird.
I can remember like running home from school to watch it. And this is what I mean. It's so weird and like amazing and nostalgic for me to be sat here with you now because that was literally my afternoon. I ran home from school to watch you on my TV.
Oh, thank you. I know when they first said that it was going to, I think it was on like at 3:45 or something like that when it originally came out. And I was like, is anyone going to watch that? Because like when I come home from school, I just want to get changed and eat some snacks. So I'm like, so who was sitting down and watching this? But luckily they did because I'm still here talking about it 20 years later. So thank you so much for watching it. This
is what I mean. It's so crazy. 20 years later and Tracy Beaker just hasn't quietened down. It is such a huge thing. Do you think you realised back then when you were 12 years old how big the show actually was?
No, I mean, I didn't have a Scooby-Doo, like, not a clue. I was, like, a huge Jacqueline Wilson fan, so obviously knew her work, because who hadn't read all of her books?
Yeah.
But hadn't actually ever read Tracy Beaker. That was, like, literally the one book I had never read. So when I first had an audition for it, they were like, so these episodes are going to be about 15 minutes long. They're going out just after school on this brand new channel called the CBBC channel. And I was just like, oh, is anyone going to watch that? Because that doesn't sound like it's going to work. And I was like, but hang on, Jacqueline Wilson's pretty big. So yeah, not a clue. I had no idea what I was signing myself up to be honest. And if I told my 12-year-old self that I would be playing her still at 32, I'd have been like, no way.
What an amazing experience. Like, I think I remember I said before we're a similar age, I remember being kind of in the noughties in the 2000s and Jacqueline Wilson being such a huge thing. I think it was probably the only books I ever really read and really loved and enjoyed. And I remember having this huge collection of all the different books. What did your friends think of the time when you get casted in this huge role? Did they realise, you became a TV icon kind of so quickly and a household name? What did they think of it?
Yeah, I think it was just a weird experience all round, to be honest, because it did kind of just happen overnight. Like, it went from, like, the first episode going out to like me being recognised almost instantly. It was just the weirdest experience. Like I couldn't just go to the shop anymore. I was getting like followed by people and everyone wanted to just talk to me, and it was really strange. So I think my friends at first were like, why are they staring at us? Do you want me to go and say something? I was like, I think it might be because I've been on the telly. And they're like, oh yeah, maybe. I think it was just a really strange experience to try and like adapt to, especially for like my parents. It just kind of all happened so quickly.
And those years are so like pinnacle in like a teenager's and a young person's life, going from kind of 12, 13, going into becoming a teenager. Did you have any normality when you were growing up, or was it all kind of, once you were thrown into that world, were you kind of really thrown in and that's kind of what it was?
Yeah, so it was kind of crazy because I kind of remember like not really ever going to school, to be honest.
Great. No,
yeah, it was brilliant. We had a tutor on set, so quite a lot of my schoolwork was done on set with my tutor, Mrs. Rainbow. Best name ever. She was like the loveliest lady in the planet. So that was kind of a bit weird, and sort of spending my weekends like going on Blue Peter and doing all these like strange things that other kids don't do. But at the same time, my home life is like the most normal thing you could possibly get. So I'm really thankful to my parents who kind of like just kept me really grounded. I mean, I'm one of these people that kind of just takes everything in and doesn't let it get to my head anyway, but thank goodness for them, they made sure that I still tidied my bedroom, I still did my chores, they weren't letting any of that get to my head. So they were great.
Keeping you grounded.
Yes, definitely.
And you've spoken before about how a lot of most teenagers get to like shy away from the camera. You know, it's not really a part of kind of a normal upbringing. But your whole childhood, essentially, well, a lot of your childhood is on BBC iPlayer for everybody to see. Have you ever watched it back? Like, what do you feel like when you watch it back, if you have?
Yeah, do you know what? I never watch myself back because I'm just too critical. I will sit there and I'll be like, oh, why did you say that line like that? I wish you hadn't done that. Oh my God, look at what you look like. Oh. No, that would literally drive me insane. So no, I have never watched it back. But yeah, you're right. When you're a teenager, the last thing you want is photographic evidence of your teenage years and like going through puberty, having acne, or look at them shiny braces. I can literally just go on iPlayer and just see my entire life played out. So it's definitely a strange situation to be in, but it's great.
I couldn't even imagine, but yeah, it definitely is great. From an outsider's point of view, it definitely is great. Do you think you'd ever let your daughter watch back Tracy Beaker when she's a bit older?
Yeah, definitely when she's a bit older. At the moment, she's only 4, so trying to explain to her how mummy got inside the TV is just a conversation I'm not ready for. Like, literally not ready. She saw me on TV once and was like, oh my gosh, my mummy is trapped in the TV. Who has done that to her? Has someone kidnapped her? Like, no, it's too much for a little 4-year-old's brain. To be honest, it's hard enough explaining to adults. So, yeah, I'm not ready for that. But maybe when she's older, because I think that the programme tackled some really interesting issues that not many kids shows did back then. So, I would definitely show her when she's a bit older.
Oh, I can't wait till I wonder whether I'll ever know, but I can't wait for that moment when she does get to watch Mum back on TV, especially when she'll, I guess, be a similar age when she, is able to kind of watch that sort of stuff. But of course, you're back with your brand new show, My Mum Tracy Beaker, which, I mean, congratulations. Like you said in the beginning, it's incredible to have kind of seen you grow with television and continue and bring this whole new series back. And let me just tell you, I watched it, binged it in the first, I think it was an hour long with a 3 separate episodes, and I was obsessed. It brought everything back to me.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just so pleased that it went down the way it did. Like, I think it could have gone either way. People were either going to be like, yay, Tracy's back, let's all sit down and watch it. Or they were going to be like, oh, not her again, we don't care anymore. Luckily it wasn't the latter. It's just been, like, it's exceeded any of our expectations. We got the most views ever for a CBBC show ever in the whole history of CBBC. Like, it's just ridiculous. Thank you all for sitting down and watching it.
That is incredible. And I think, honestly, just to be completely, like, transparent with you, me and my friends, everybody was texting me like, do you know Tracy Beaker's back? Every single person in my friendship group has texted me, and I've seen it all over Instagram, I've seen it all over Twitter, people talking about it. So it is so incredible, like I say, to see something that I grew up with come back with such a bang. It really has.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just so thankful. Like, the minute I read the script, I was like, oh, this is good, because it was kind of difficult for our writer because we weren't really sure where it was being aimed at, really. It was like, are we aiming it at the 30-year-olds or are we trying to aim it at the 7 to 12-year-olds who originally watched it? So I think she did an amazing job of like catering to all age groups. As a parent, I would sit down and enjoy that. And also as a kid, kind of seeing what Jess Beaker, Tracy's daughter, goes through and how she deals with the situation. So yeah, well done, Emma, our writer. I think she did a glorious job.
She definitely did. Congratulations to you, Emma. Like, honestly, we love it so, so much. But how did the whole kind of idea for the sequel come about?
Well, Jacqueline Wilson wrote the book a few years ago, and literally, like, as soon as it got published, I was like, "Come on, BBC."
She's waiting for the call.
Let's phone me. Come on, you know you want it. So yeah, it kind of almost as soon as the book got published, the BBC rang up and was like, "Right, we've already commissioned it." So I was like, "Oh, okay, brilliant, right." And then it kind of took a few years to kind of work out how we were going to go about it, really, whether it was going to be back on CBBC or whether it was going to be directed for an older audience. But I think they made the right decision by it going on CBBC. It's kind of where it first started, and it kind of felt like the programme sort of coming home. But yeah, then obviously the pandemic hit, so I was like, well, we won't be filming, so I'm just going to sit back and eat lots of chocolate and have a lovely time. And then they were like,
we all have.
Yeah, and then they were like, no, we are still going to go ahead. I was like, oh, great, I'm camera ready. Let's go. But yes, it was a good experience.
And what was it like bringing Tracy back after all those years, like you say, because, you know, you've said that you kind of felt like you weren't really ready, but then it's like, right, bam, straight back into it. Let's bring Tracy back. Because I guess she must be a part of you, really, but, you know, she is a character. So tell me, what was that kind of like for you?
Yeah, so it was super easy to get back into playing Tracy because even though she's a parent now and she's grown up a bit and she's certainly less selfish than she was before, she's still the same person. She's still got that feisty, sassy attitude. Thank goodness, otherwise, you know, none of us would have been interested because that's what we all love about Tracy. So yeah, it was super easy to get back into it. But obviously, because we were filming during a pandemic, everything was so different that it felt like we were doing this brand new series, which I think kind of helped it because it really it was like a breath of fresh air again. So it didn't feel kind of stale or we were just sort of dragging Tracy out of retirement for no reason. Like, it was a great script, great concept. The people around us that we were working with were just brilliant. So yeah, overall, it was such a joyous experience. It was great.
I'm so glad to hear that. Were you nervous at all to bring Tracy back?
Not really. I don't think I was nervous because it just felt like putting on like an old pair of shoes, like a nice comfy pair. So it kind of just felt right, and I think the timing was right as well. I don't know if I'd want to play Tracy again if she was still kind of wandering around in her 20s, not really having a direction in life and not really know what she was doing, because I feel like we kind of experienced that already. But yeah, for me as an actor, being able to play this one character for such a long amount of time is actually such a blessing, because I've got to play her at completely different stages in her life. So this one's been great. It's sort of like I played child Tracy, I've played kind of late teenage, early 20 Tracy when she was trying to work out what she wanted to do in life. Now she's a mum, she's more settled. Yeah, so it's just been great.
And you mentioned there that going back to kind of filming in COVID times is difficult. And I did read an article where you said, you know, not being able to hug your cast members is such a huge thing. And even like sitting with you now, I wish I could give you a hug before we started. It's such something we do so naturally. So how was it going back to record with some of the people that you'd actually grown up with on set? I mean, there was Justine Littlewood, there was Cam, to say their characters' names, of course, as I remember them in my head. You know, how was it like going back to work with some of these guys that you had grown up with on set?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing to see everyone, because I think I hadn't seen Montana, who plays Justine, for about 10 years. Like, it had been a really long time. But yeah, just super hard because we couldn't go anywhere near each other. So we did manage to like catch up a bit. She's had a child as well, so we got to swap stories, which was really nice. But yeah, seeing Lisa, who played Cam, it was the hardest thing not to be able to just like jump on her, squeeze her, give her a big kiss. Yeah, it was really tricky, but yeah, filming in a pandemic, it's a lot. I had to be away from my family for about 5 weeks, and I wasn't allowed home because we had to sort of form this bubble with Emma, who played my daughter, and Jordan, who played Sean. So we weren't allowed to go home. So we kind of only had each other. So there was just like 3 of us constantly. So yeah, that was really, really hard to be away from home. But I think it's really important to show that our industry can basically tackle anything. And we're creative enough to make it safe and make it fun and still create great content.
That's the thing. I mean, watching it, not once did I think about, I didn't actually know it was filmed in a pandemic when I watched it.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it could have been filmed way, way back. I wasn't completely sure until obviously we started looking into it a bit more. It was so well put across to everybody. So well done to everybody involved. But as well there, like I said, you know, it must be crazy for you to see these actors that you've kind of grown up with on set. But what was it like bringing new actors and new characters essentially into Tracy Beaker? Because it's just this whole world and these new people coming in. What was it like?
Yeah, we just embraced it. We're like, come on, guys, join the family.
Welcome
come
to
on
the family.
Welcome. And yeah, especially Emma, who played my daughter. It was her first job, which you would never know in a million years because she is just brilliant.
Amazing.
And yeah, everyone that was sort of brought in just fit in like a beautiful jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
And everyone was brilliant. The casting did like such an amazing job. So yeah, it was actually really nice to see different characters and kind of see where their journeys might take them.
And is it more fun playing Tracy Beaker now or when you were younger?
Oh, definitely when I was younger. I got to like scream and shout and stuff and have fights, which I'd never be able to have in real life. So yeah, it was great to let all my sort of like passion out when I was younger. But it is fun at all ages. I've really enjoyed playing the character. I think she's just great.
And, you know, talking about kind of your Tracy Beaker journey, what have been some of your favourite memories or moments from set or from show?
Gosh, it's so hard because there's so many wonderful memories. I think for me, when I did Tracy Beaker Returns, working with this group of the most amazing young people, they really were the most talented actors. And I just used to be in awe of these like tiny little 10-year-olds and just being like, wow, I wish I was that good when I was your age. And now seeing them all blossom and have their own amazing careers has just been, I literally feel like a proud mum. Like, I'm literally, I stalk them on Instagram. I'm like, what are you doing now? And yeah, see them on TV and I make sure I try and watch everything that they're all in. And yeah, they're just brilliant. So I think that for me, just seeing them grow up, even though it's weird, like being able to go for a drink with them now is very strange. I'm like, hang on, you should still be 9, but whatever. So yeah, that's probably been the highlight for me.
Oh, I love that. And are there any secrets we don't know about Tracy Beaker? I had to slip this one into the questions. Like, is there anything we don't know that like no one's ever really been told?
Do you know what? I don't know if there's anything. I don't think I know anything. Do you know what I'd really like to know though? Is who Tracy's dad is, because we like don't have a clue, and I don't know. It's been 20 years of me wondering.
It's never been. I wonder whether we'll ever know.
Who knows? But honestly, that's one of my like questions that I maybe I'll ask Jacqueline Wilson next time I see her.
I feel like you need to give Jacqueline a quick bell and just be like,
yeah, let me just do that right now.
Let's get Jacqueline on the phone, everybody. I mean, that would be fantastic. I'd have another fangirl moment like, babes.
You should get her on the podcast. She'd love it.
Do you know what, Dani? Maybe we'll do a 3-way podcast next time when we can do it in person. There is an idea.
She's literally the nicest lady in the whole entire world.
She seems it. That is actually an idea, listeners. If you'd like to see that happening with me, Dani and Jacqueline, let us know in the comments on the podcast and we'll see if we can make it happen, you know?
You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have definitely happened. And you mentioned before kind of your younger cast, the younger cast members. So your daughter, Emma, how is it kind of working with these younger actors now? Like, have you passed over any advice on being a young star?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, I've had to kind of pass on the advice about social media, which we didn't have back when I was younger. Yeah. Thank goodness. You know, it's a lot, especially for, I mean, she's 10, 11, maybe 11. She had a birthday. Sorry, I do know how old she is, I promise. She's 11. You know, and I've just had to kind of warn her, like, there are a lot of silly people out there and please ignore them because you're beautiful, you're wonderful, you're so talented. I mean, she's just ridiculous and has the brightest future ahead of her. But it's just super sad that I have to say that. So yeah, I just tried to, she's got my number. She can call me anytime if she ever needs advice. I don't think she really needs it. I think I need hers because she's great.
You were speaking a little bit about social media there and kind of, the younger stars, so Emma, who plays your daughter. How have you seen kind of the industry and your experience with your career change since social media has come into play now?
I think a lot's changed really in the fact that people now seem to think that they kind of own you and that they can literally say whatever they like to you, which is just great. Thank you so much, everyone. I mean, it's hard enough being an actor really because we're getting criticised left, right and centre anyway. It's like part of the job. So I don't really need like Tim, who lives in Tunbridge Wells, telling me that I wasn't very good or that I look a bit podgy. I don't really need that, to be honest with you. So yeah, I think it's definitely changed, and I just really, really thank goodness that it wasn't around when I was younger, because I honestly don't know how I would have coped. I've like suffered with depression on and off since I was about 14. So had that kind of caught me at a bad time, honestly, I don't know. But even at 32, I've got the thickest skin ever and can pretty much take anything. But it'll always be that one comment that I read on social media is the one that I'm thinking about, and not like the hundreds of thousands of amazingly lovely positive ones that I get. So I literally can't even imagine what it's like for, teenagers and young people now. It's not great. It's really not. And social media should be such a great positive place where we all kind of come on and we talk about ourselves and you can interact with us, and it's great for that. And I've met some amazing people on social media who've become kind of friends really. Like they follow me around whenever I'm touring, they come and watch my shows, and I know them by face and by name now. So for that it's been brilliant. But I think something really needs to change, because I don't want to have this anxiety every single time I open my phone. Like nobody needs that.
And that's the thing, I think it's scary. I think, do you think you were kind of lucky in starting your career when you were younger, when social media didn't exist?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I literally thank my stars every single day. And to be honest, I never really got anything bad until I did Strictly, I think. Because before that, I had a really low following. It was actually quite nice. And then obviously with Strictly, you're kind of obviously on primetime TV and wearing very, very little on TV, which I thought I looked fabulous.
You did.
Back then I was only a size 6. And you'll know this yourself because you're a shorter person. That, obviously my size 6 looks incredibly different to a Victoria's Secret model. I'm squished, and that's fine. And I have boobs and I have a bum as well. So I've got a bit of shape to me. And I look back now, I mean, I'm size 10 now and have been literally every single day probably been called fat on social media so far, which is just great. And I look back and I think, oh my goodness, at size 6, it should have just been water off a duck's back. It really should have been.
But that's it. It's just so uncalled for and just so unnecessary. I don't know why people feel they have this entitlement to call people names or to have an opinion on the way you look, whatever it may be. It is just so uncalled for. So I'm sorry to hear that you have gone through that. I mean, I think unfortunately it has become a normality, which is not acceptable.
It's really not. And honestly, I wish I had the answers as to how to change things. It looked like we were sort of changing for the better with the Be Kind movement. But my goodness, that took someone taking their life for that to happen. Like, that's just dreadful. Caroline was such an amazing, lovely person whenever I met her. She was great. And, I don't know what more it's going to take for people to realise that their words have consequences, and the people behind these phones are real people. Just because we have a weird job doesn't mean we don't have feelings.
100%. I think that's a message to anybody listening who's ever thought about, trolling online or is a troll online, that, definitely think your words have so much power, and just be kind. I think, like you say, it's such a strong message. And I think, like you say, when unfortunately bad things do happen, people tend to listen and tend to, you know, talk about kind of mental health and, you know, spreading that kind of be kind message, but then it can be very quickly forgotten. So it's just always good to remind people that there's a real person behind the account you're speaking to.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, it's that age-old thing, isn't it? I think I got taught this by my mum when I was about 5. If you haven't got anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's really not hard. My child knows it, so why can't adults? Very strange.
Exactly. I feel like no one says that saying anymore. That was a saying I definitely grew up with. And I think anytime when I come into this, you know, if I hear anything or if I see anything, I just think that's all I want to say. Like, just hold it back. If you've got something negative to say, just keep that to yourself.
Yeah.
And especially, it doesn't need to be said on social media.
No. I mean, I've got plenty of opinions about people that I don't necessarily like, but then I sit there and I think, well, hang on, I actually don't know this person, one, because I'm watching them on TV, 2, probably never going to meet them in my life, and also, what am I going to get out of saying that on social media? Exactly. Literally nothing. It's not going to make my day any better, and it's going to make someone else's worse. So just don't do it. It's not hard, I promise.
Just don't do it. Yeah, think about your actions, please, guys. And I mean, with that, you've got your own daughter now. So not just in the show, you have your very own daughter who we mentioned before, who is 4 years old. How are you kind of juggling being so busy with acting and then having your daughter at home as well? I know she's back at school at the moment, so how's it all kind of going?
Yeah, I think I'm just like any other parent. It is just a juggling act. It's difficult when both parents work. During a pandemic, you can't really just ask for help because you're not allowed to go near anyone. So yeah, it's been kind of tricky, to be honest. I've kind of had my daughter snuck in underneath the table sometimes when I've done like Zoom chats like this, and I've just gone, if you just be quiet just for a couple of minutes, that'll be fine. Here, have a lollipop. So I'm just doing anything I can to kind of get round it, but it is so much easier now that the schools are open again. Thank you. I don't want to be a teacher anymore. That was rubbish time. Yeah, so that will be a little bit easier now that I've kind of got my days kind of freed up. But hey, she comes first and I have to work everything around her, and I'm totally okay with that.
Oh, I love that. And do you think would you ever encourage your daughter to go into acting, to like follow a similar path to you? Is she interested in acting?
No, I want her to get a normal job. Don't choose this life. No, I'm totally kidding. If she showed like that she wanted to do it and she had an interest in it, and if she was good at it, of course, I would 100% support her. But I'm also not going to glamorize it. You know, it's really hard work being an actor, and I think it's good that we make it look easy, but it's really not. It's long days, it's tiring, you don't see your friends and family as often, you kind of get cut off from the world. It is hard work. And there's a lot of rejection as well that comes with this industry. You kind of have to have a really thick skin. So I would prepare her as much as I can, but also kind of say, but you know, if you just get like a regular job, you can have a regular income, and you can also see your friends at weekends, and you get bank holidays off. Great.
It's good that you have that experience to be able to tell her every kind of side and show every side. And even like you said before, I mean, social media for every person can be positive, it can be negative.
Absolutely.
But for obviously people in the media, it's just so, you know, you're so much more focused on. So it's good that you can share those kind of learnings with her. Yeah. So young as well. Like, you're so young to have gone through all those different, you know, things already.
I know, I feel ancient, and sometimes I'm like, am I ready to retire? Should I?
You're not. You're not ancient. We're like the same age, so we're not ancient.
Yeah, no, we're really not. But the thing is, like, I love what I do so much. Like, it's just the greatest feeling. I get so much out of acting and playing different characters. I just have this massive passion for it. So no, I will never retire. You know, it's a great job. What can I say? It really is, despite its, you know, cons.
That's it. I mean, I think with every job, there's always going to be some form of con. You know, life's not perfect for anybody. So 100%. It's always a balance in acting.
It is, yeah.
And you've also got your own drama academy. So tell me a little bit about that. How like heavily involved are you with that? Yeah,
so I'm like super involved in it. I opened the Dani Harmer Academy about 6 years ago now, which is just crazy. And yeah, I just wanted to give something back to my community. There is nothing for kids to do around here. It is rubbish. It was rubbish when I was younger. Thank you so much. I like making up my own songs. Yeah, it was rubbish when I was growing up. There was nothing to do apart from going going and hanging outside your local shops. I don't know why we used to do that as teenagers. Please don't do that. It's very weird. And yeah, I just wanted to give something back. And there's a lot of budget cuts that have been happening in the schools around here, and performing arts is the first one to get chopped off. So I was like, I just really want to give something back, because I really wasn't academic when I was younger at all. And if I didn't have drama as kind of an outlet, I would have suffered, to be honest with you. So I just wanted to give kids a nice safe space that they could come and explore the performing arts, even if it was just for a hobby, growing confidence, and yeah, just enjoy it. It's like you've had a long, hard week at school, come to us on a Saturday morning and just have some fun.
Oh, it sounds brilliant. I mean, I'd love to come along. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
it sounds great.
Yeah, do it. I mean, it's for under like 16s, but we'll let you in.
I'll see if I can like take all my makeup off and just make myself look really young. I'm 5'1", so maybe I'll get away with it. You might see me sneak in one day.
To be fair, most of the kids are way taller than me, so it'll be fine.
we'd just blend into the background. You wouldn't even know I was there.
Exactly, yeah.
You just hear a big voice in the background somewhere.
I'll let you know when we're reopened, because I cannot wait for that day that we throw open the doors again, because being online is great, but it's just not the same, and I really miss my students, so I'm really looking forward to getting back.
And I bet they miss you so much as well. So we look forward to that being open for you again. And now, Dani, you've kind of said that you will always play Tracy Beaker. I know that you said earlier in the podcast when Jacqueline brought out her new book, you were like, come on, BBC, call me. So what is kind of next for you as Dani, though? What's in the pipeline? Yeah,
I don't know, which is kind of a bit exciting. Obviously, we're going through a pandemic, so it's a bit of a rubbish time for our industry. So not an awful lot is going on, but it's starting to move now. As I say, I'm an actor. I love playing different characters, and I've been really, really lucky in my career. Obviously, I've played Tracy Beaker, but I've managed to do loads of other stuff, which is just so cool. So yeah, I want to do period dramas. I want to do more musicals, because I love being up on the stage. Films. I'm just really greedy and just want to do like literally everything. Yeah, everything.
We cannot wait to see what you do next. Now, before I wrap up, I've got to ask, because of the way the films kind of ended. I mean, people are calling it film and a series. I watched it like a film. It was like a movie to me. So the way My Mum Tracy Beaker ended, it said, did it say to be continued at the end?
It did, which was a shock for me as well as everyone else. Can I just say, I was like, okay.
It said to be continued. So I want to know, what is next for the Beaker Girls, babes?
Well, Jacqueline Wilson did actually write a sequel called We Are the Beaker Girls. So you never know. There may be another series coming to you. But in all seriousness, I don't have a clue.
Wow. Okay. So no spoilers.
No spoilers, because I literally don't have any. I'm just an actor. I have no power here. But yeah, again, I'm just waiting by the phone, hoping that the BBC call up and they want to make another one. And then we can see where Tracy and Jess end up on their next part of their journey.
Oh, wow. Well, wherever Tracy and Jess end up, or wherever you end up next, Dani, we will be supporting you the whole way. I can't wait to see what happens for you next.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Honestly, this has been the most amazing interview. I've loved speaking to you today for the podcast. I know that all of our guys listening at home are going to love this so much. So yeah, thank you for joining us, and I'll let you get back to your day now.
Thank you. I'm going to go and have a coffee.
Go and have a coffee. Enjoy your day whilst your daughter's at school. You take that time, babes. Enjoy
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and thank you to all of our amazing listeners. This has been PLT Behind Closed Doors with Dani Harmer. If you have enjoyed this episode, please make sure to leave us a little review, and as always, subscribe. We will see you next week. Woo, we're done!
Woohoo!